All right.
Yeah.
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 Remember last week we said you can't force the cold open?
Yeah, you can't do
Yeah.
that.
Maybe we should have tried tonight.
I mean, Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go out of business and they can't. They filed for bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, how do you get out? We want out.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. After we record this episode, we're all going out for ice cream. Please welcome your hosts, Mike and Darren.
Hi, I'm Darren.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast. This is episode 227.
We are excited that you're here
Yeah.
and not there.
Exactly.
Because if you were there, you wouldn't be
You wouldn't be
here.
here.
And
Yeah.
here's where it's at.
Here is where it's at.
I'm going to talk about the fact that Bess intimidated someone to the point where they had to stop smoking and give up their parking space.
Okay.
And we also almost got kicked out of Topgolf at Charlie's birthday party.
That takes effort. I've seen people in Top Golf.
We did well.
Okay. And I'm going to talk about years ago when David Letterman had his Late Show with David Letterman show on CBS. On his website, they had a top 10 contest, and I entered that thing many times, and I won several times. Tonight, I'm going to read one of those top 10 lists.
Before we get started, I want to talk about fondant, and I hate it, and it sucks.
Fondant?
Fondant.
Is that the thing you dip the cheese in?
No. Well, it might be. It's what I think that icing is called. That looks like plastic, and it cuts like, what's it called? Fondant.
I'm thinking fondue.
Fondue is the dip of
That's the
melted
cheese.
cheese.
Okay,
and
fondant?
chocolate. Fondant.
Okay, fondant.
Is this weird plastic icing. You've seen these cakes that are just too perfect to be real. Not we think it's cake, not those.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
But it's like a plasticky.
Yes,
it's edible.
You can't eat it,
and
but
every
you don't
time,
want to.
Every time one of these cakes comes around,
Yeah.
there's always somebody. They may not even be in your group. Mm-hmm. Somebody in the room that you're in is going to tell you that that's edible icing.
Right? You know, it tastes horrible.
Yeah. It's offensive to me.
Okay.
So we got a cake for Charlie's birthday, and it had the fondant.
Fondant.
Fondant. I just want a nice buttercream, icing that will clog your arteries, take years off my life. I don't want to saw through plastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
we
really
used
good
to.
cake.
We used to watch the show Nailed It.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, have you ever watched Nailed It? Oh my God,
clips.
we burned through 3 seasons in a weekend. Couldn't stop watching it, even though the host was annoying as hell. But the co-host Jacques Pierre Fondant or whatever, he was the professional chef. All right, and so every single episode they would show the elaborate cake. And this is what the people are trying to make. And they would ask, Jacques, how do you make this? Well, first you mix the buttercream with the...
You almost transformed
You put
into
the butter in with the powdered sugar.
Is he
you mix that-
Czechoslovakian?
No, he's French.
French. I was trying to...
Czechoslovakian.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could say that word.
Jacques.
Yeah.
That sounds Czech to me.
Yeah.
So he would always say, you take the buttercream, you make the icing, you take the powdered sugar, then you make the mold, and then you make the fondant. The way he described how to make the fondant, it's almost like trying to tell either of us how to tie your shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, you take the Legos, you melt them down, you spread them on the cake. That's
exactly.
That's what it is.
And it was always impossible. That's why nobody could make anything on that show.
Well, that's like those stupid. So we're on the TikTok. By the way, if you don't follow us on the TikTok, you're missing out.
Oh, yeah.
It takes all this. So we're going to spend about an hour trying to extract a 45-minute show out of this.
Yeah.
And out of all of that, there'll probably be 30 to 40 seconds that's actually funny.
For TikTok, yeah.
And 1% to 2% of those funny things end up as TikTok videos on our TikTok channel. So you can go check that out.
Follow us on TikTok.
But you ever seen the rest? Because they try to show cooking a full Thanksgiving dinner in like a minute. Right. And you'll throw a bowl, we'll throw down, then a potato will fly in there, a salt, a butter. Somebody will go, and then it's mashed potatoes.
It's right there.
And then they always end with the goofy bastard spooning the stuff into his face and doing a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Or chowing down on the whatever thing they just made and giving the goofy thumbs up. And you look up the recipe and there's like 20,000 ingredients.
I know.
Let it simmer for 30 days.
I've made a Thanksgiving dinner by myself before.
Have you?
Yeah, when Jacob was little, and my mom came to visit, and Mom and Libby were doing something with Jacob. He was pretty involved at the time.
Okay.
And I'm like, you ladies sit back. And I did. I did the turkey. I did the mashed potatoes. I did the green bean casserole. Yeah. I heated up the ham, and I did the rolls. And
the ham and turkey?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of ham.
Okay, rich guy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can't hide money. Yeah. So.
Did you think about stuffing the ham in the turkey?
A hamurkey. Yeah. Gobble, gobble.
Or a turham. Sounds like we should get canceled for that.
But it's I mean, I did it, but I certainly it wasn't easy enough to explain how I did it in a minute.
And you did it without using any fondant.
That's no fondant at all. I like the way he turned that around.
Yeah. You're kind of, it's like a callback to about 30 seconds ago.
Hey, I wanted to mention before I got here. I went, and you have contacts. But you also wear glasses, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so last week I had to go to the eye doctor and get my subscription repaired for my glasses.
Prescription.
That's what I said.
Yes.
So I go and they do the eye check, A, B, 1, 2, which is better, this and this and this and this. I mentioned before that this is the eye doctor where I went, and I think I really pissed off the lady who works there because I think I wasn't intending to, but I think it sounded like I was mansplaining something to her because I told her what alternating esotropia was, and she said, I know what that is.
Wait, what is what?
Alternating esotropia is what I have. I can't focus on one object with both eyes at the same time.
Yeah.
It's either left eye or right eye. They don't focus on it at the same time.
Where I'm from, we call that cockeyed.
But I found out that I don't have a lazy eye. I have a cross eye.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Did I offend you with the cockeye?
No, I've heard it before. Okay. Steve Farrell says I have a wonky eye, and it should come up in the comments any second now. So I go and I get a new subscription, and I went. I didn't.
Prescription.
I didn't. That's what I said. Yeah. I didn't get new frames, and I realized. Hold on.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I remember I went to the eye doctor, and there was a man there. He had to have been 90, and he was getting new glasses, and the lady says, "Well, Mr.
Happenstance.
Mr. Happenstance. Yeah. You're here for new glasses."
He's Czechoslovakian.
Yeah, he is. He's from the Czech Republic. And she says, "What type of frames do you want?" And he takes off his 45-year-old pair of glasses. He goes, I want these. I want these frames. Yeah. And he just like, just screw this. I don't want anything to do with finding new frames. Ew. Put them in here, right? I've turned into that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate looking for glasses frames.
You can make yourself look like an idiot really fast with glasses frames.
Yes, you can.
You can pick the wrong kind.
Oh, yeah. You can get the big ass Elton John ones.
Or you can say, well, Tom Cruise, when he wore these in that movie, he looked really cool. So
but
I'm going to get
sunglasses. Those are aviators.
That's why it gets so dark when I try those on.
Yeah.
So you were explaining to your eye doctor an eye issue.
And here's the thing. It's like when she was talking to me, I was telling her what alternating esotropia was. I wanted her to know that I knew what it was.
Yeah.
Right? And then she says, yeah, I know what that is. And it really sounded like I was mansplaining. Long story short, flash forward to last week. I go in there. She wasn't there.
Yeah.
But the guy who worked the front desk was there. He's like, "Oh, hey, this is Darren. Remember I told you last time he was here, he thought he pissed off what's her face?" I'm like, you don't have to. And here I am telling everybody all over it again. But he just like brought it up to everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway, I go in today and I got new lenses, but I kept my frames.
Yeah.
Because I like these frames.
I think it's okay. Those are nice frames.
Thank
those are
you.
Darren frames.
I love my frames.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to get a new pair of frames.
So
I hate getting new frames. I hate trying on jeans. And I hate trying on shoes. I hate going and buying new shoes.
I found my jean about 7 years ago, and I get the same brand, the same type. Yep. The only thing I've changed is the color. Color. And longtime listeners will know that I went on a rant about black jeans and how much they suck and how much more the people who wear them suck. And then probably the next Friday after that episode, I went and replaced all my jeans with black jeans.
Yeah.
And I love them.
I have one pair of black jeans.
I get annoyed.
I wear those to fancy occasions, like if we go to the ballet.
Yeah.
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 I went today to pick up my lenses. And I said, yeah, I'm here to pick up my lenses, which is why I was there. And so she says, have a seat over there.
Yeah.
The guy comes over. Can I help you? I said, yeah, I'm Darren Cox. I need to pick up my lenses. He says, okay, great. He gets the lenses, comes over and hands them to me in a bag. Here you go.
What happened?
And I just looked at him like
a do-it-yourself glasses.
Yeah. I looked at him and I just took out my frames like can you do it?
Would you get your glasses at IKEA?
He just handed me the lenses.
Just give you a little Swedish cartoon with a guy putting the glass in the frame.
I don't even have one of those little itty bitty teeny weeny itsy bitsy screwdrivers.
Yeah.
I used to. I've lost it because it's so small.
That's what she said.
I have one.
Yeah, it's called a tweaker.
Every time I don't need it, I know exactly where it is. And then when my glasses are loose, I can't find it anywhere.
I have a little, like an overnight toiletry bag when I go on vacation or on a trip or something. I keep my deodorant, toothpaste, and all that. I used to have it in there, and it's gone.
Yeah.
I suspect Jacob took it.
He may have.
Probably. Anyway, I handed him my frames. And it took him like 10 minutes to put them in.
Yeah, so and he's a professional.
It would have taken me an hour and a half at least to get them in there, and then they've been all wonky. But anyway, I got new lenses. How you doing?
So I have new contacts.
Okay.
And I can see better than I have in the past 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Here's what I did.
When you can actually see?
Well, you know how the person asks you, which looks better, A or B? I never told the truth on those. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because...
Do you not want to see?
Because I've accepted issues. I've just accepted that I would see like little blurry edges on things because I'm getting older.
You're so
and this
stupid.
time, I am. I realized after
you're
these...
the smartest, stupid person I know.
It's an anxiety. I swear it's an anxiety thing. I'll blame it on some eye doctor from ages ago that nobody can check up on.
From
and nobody could ask
Czechoslovakia.
from Czechoslovakia. Who said, you have astigmatism, so you get a little bit of blurry here and a little blurry. It's just normal.
Right.
So I just accepted that that's normal. And I've always seen a little blurry on the edges of text. Not a big deal. It's just there.
Just noticeable, yeah.
And then I noticed it when I went to the fear. I noticed that I could, like, some sections of it looked a little blurry, and people were talking about how clear everything was. It's like, the next time I go get my eyes checked, I'm going to not leave that chair until I can see. It just sounds crazy.
What a goal, right?
But I said it's the same eye doctor I've been going to forever, and she's like 1 or 2, and I said, I literally said this. Normally I would choose 1, but I'm going 2 on this one. And she paused for a significant amount of time, and she said, okay. And then it was A, B. And I did it again. I'm like, A looks better than B. So I went with it.
So
and I went with all the
A.
You know how the letters look? How they're supposed to look sharp?
I do know how
I
letters
went with all the instances where they were sharp. And I said no to all the ones that they were blurry. And I was filled with anxiety that I would get to the end when because they do one eye at a time.
Yes.
You're looking at me like I'm a science experiment over here.
You are.
And
you just are, Mike.
She got both eyes dialed in, and I was really proud of myself.
Yeah.
I was so happy with my decisions to this point. And then they do the thing where they show you the 2 lines that are all wonkied.
Yeah.
And then they're moving them, and then this is for the video portion of the podcast. They're moving them, and then you have to say
such captivating video.
You have to say stop when they're lined up.
Oh, they don't do that. Oh, because I can't see. It's at the same time.
I thought, here it is.
Yeah.
I've made it this far, and this is where I'm going to screw it up. I'm going to wonk them, and then
hello.
I'm going to get weird eyes. And I told her where it looked like they were lined up. I told her then. And she locked them in. And then she did that thing, you almost hear the when they like take the thing away. And then they show you the text. The text that's like the smallest it's like microprint from across the alley there.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I could see all of it. And I just blurted them out before she even asked. And she's like, oh. She's like, you're doing a little better than 2020. And I was like, yes.
Suck it, blindness.
But then I thought, the manufacturers are not going to be able to reproduce that experience. And I put these in. Now, here's the problem. When I put these contacts in, I can't see for about 20 minutes. I'm not safe to leave the house. I have so much astigmatism, they've got to rotate the right way. There's little notches there that when you blink, they slowly align.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I used to have contacts that had a little, or they were flat on the bottom.
Okay.
So you knew where to put them in.
Nah.
Yeah, really?
These are not. They have like a little notch.
God, I hated my contacts.
It's like a little lip in there. If you hold it up, it's like a little human diggy.
It's like a human diggy?
Yeah, and then as you blink, it'll align itself.
Okay.
And after about 20 minutes, it's like, I can see. And I've been looking at stuff a lot, like around the house. Like those lights.
Hey, honey, have you seen this?
All of that, like, okay.
Look at all that over there.
Look at all those like movies and stuff over there.
Oh yeah.
I could see individual. I can almost The Last of Us. I know where The Last of Us is. If you had asked me a couple of weeks ago,
right?
Hey Mike, where's The Last of Us? I don't know. And I told Bess this, and she's like, "Don't you tell him the truth all the time?" I'm like, it gets to a point where I've gone too far down the road.
You never cease to just baffle me. You are just a piece of work.
For more than 20 years, I've been lying in the eye doctors. This last time, I thought, I'm only hurting myself. Kids, the moral of the story.
Don't lie at the eye doctor.
Don't lie at the eye doctor. You're just cheating yourself. I think about all the shit I haven't seen.
Vision can be yours. I told the eye doctor.
I can see Andrew from across the yard now.
Oh, wow.
I can pick him out in a lineup.
Which kid is yours? This beats me. I hope he's doing good.
It's amazing.
No, because they did A or B, and I'm like, those look the same to me.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, and then he'd do another, and then there's a couple times where he goes, 1 or 2, and I'm like, they look the same except 2 is a little further to the right, and I'm like, what's that about?
Well, yeah.
And I was trying to, it's like, so then I started wondering, am I seeing everything a little bit to the right? Or is things, or are things
just walking into walls on the left side all the time?
Well, not that far, just enough to, it's like if I was throwing darts, then I would be like, okay.
Always just to the left of the bullseye.
Yeah. And then he explained it to me.
Yeah.
And he also explained why when you squint, it's easier to see because it's called the pinhole effect.
Yeah.
Less light gets in. I don't know.
Yeah.
But these new lenses, I can see better too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. I had to tell him. They asked me why I was there. Like, why else would I go to the eye doctor? so I can see better.
Can't hear too good.
Oh, I'm in the wrong place. I should have read the sign.
I don't think much.
Yeah.
I still have my glasses that have the prescription from my days of deception.
Right.
So now I've got to get those fixed. It's not that. It's. I don't want you to
Tom
think.
Cruise movie right there.
I don't want you to think that I'm blind. It's just a little tinge. It's like I see a little bit of a fuzzy around things.
My biggest problem with vision is when I'm watching TV and one of the actors on one of our favorite, or maybe even one of our shows, it's not our favorite, but they'll get a text and they hold up the phone and they're reading the text. They're like, son of a bitch. And I'm like, what did it say? And Louie's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we had to pause it or rewind the TV, and I had to walk over to the TV.
Oh no!
Oh, it was a text from Sarah that she said, "I can't believe you did that."
Okay.
And then Louie's like, "Can't believe you did what?" I don't know. I'm looking at this at the same time that you are.
Yeah,
I don't know what he did.
She's driving while she's texting. She's going to explain everything.
Don't do that. Don't text and drive, kids.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by G. Your Hair Smells Terrific, the perfect shampoo for ladies who love to look and smell their best.
That's right.
Now back to the show.
Welcome back.
We went to the haunt.
The Halloween haunt.
Weekend. Halloween haunt at Kings Island.
Kings Island.
Wow, they really do it up. And this time I could see it. With all the mist, I could pick those ghouls and ghosts out really quickly. So for those of you who don't know what the haunt is, it's basically Kings Island is our amusement park. And
it's in lovely Mason, Ohio.
Yeah, and then it's like starts sometime in September, goes through October, through Halloween, and I think like the first weekend in November they shut it down.
This year it stops at like October 26th or something.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't go till Halloween Day.
Stupid.
Because Halloween Day is on a Thursday, and they're not open during the week.
Well,
it should be.
Halloween is in the name Halloween
Yes,
haunt.
should it be open on...
Well, here's what they do.
Hey, talk to your state senator.
So typically when you go to an amusement park, everything's bright and sunny and you got music in the background. People walking around with cotton candy and smiles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when you go to the haunt, it's dark. There's fire shooting up. There's metal, like death metal. And then they have like the mist is really well done. I was really blown away by the mist. Certain sections you're going through, and I've been to Kings Island.
Hey, honey, did you see the mist? You're the first person I've ever talked to who was impressed by mist.
Well, we don't live in a very misty area. It's not like we live in Transylvania or Seattle. We're in bum-slapped Ohio.
This is the coolest damn mist I've ever seen.
But then they have people that work for Kings Island that are dressed up really well, like zombies and whatever. Yeah. And so you go into the haunt with the understanding that people will jump out at you and scream and all this stuff. But there's like certain sections where they do that more than others, where most of the mist is. I learned that this last visit.
Yeah, beware.
And we did the one thing you're supposed to do, you have to do at the haunt, which is ride the beast in the dark. Oh,
it goes faster in the dark.
It does.
It does.
We were in line.
Craig Augustine, who's been on our show, told me that roller coasters are faster at night, and I thought he was full of it.
They are, yeah.
And he told me because the cold and then the metal shrinks a little bit, and they do go faster.
Exactly.
Yes, science!
We went to the haunt on Saturday. We got in the line for the beast Thursday night. And finally got onto it on Saturday. That's a long, like all the little extra areas. So we were in there forever, but it was amazing. But the most intense part of the trip came when we were arriving. So there was good, nice weather this past weekend.
Yeah, beautiful.
And everybody in Cincinnati, Columbus, Dayton, Indianapolis,
Louisville,
Denver,
Lexington, Chattanooga,
Tallahassee, Maine,
Shreveport,
New York City,
Bunkport,
Los Angeles or Los Angeles,
Portland,
all of them, Czechoslovakia, they all went to Kings Island.
Winnipeg.
So we've got a little cheat code that we use.
Okay.
Where we go right through where you go in, and we immediately just turn left, right where they put all the Winnebagos and RVs where they're cooking meth over there by in Vertigo.
Yeah, right.
And we park over there because no one ever parks there. Well, we go over there and it's like full. There's like people in the grass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're like, what the? And Bess is driving. And we're literally in the last lane. And we see a guy coming out by his car. And I hear Bess say, "Hey, are you leaving?" She was just asking. I'm hamming it up. She was being nice,
right?
But his reaction was like she said it that way. He's like in the middle of a cigarette. He's like, "No, I was just smoking. I can leave. You need space?
I can."
And she's like, "Well, I could use the space." And he's like, he puts his cigarette out, gets in his car, and leaves. And we pull into his space. I was like, "You intimidated that man.
Hey,
he may have just gotten there for all we know." Hey,
his family may still be at the park.
The funny part is we weren't even waiting for that spot. There was another spot like right in front of him that was opening up.
Way to go, Bess.
We got it. That seemed like it was going to be a longer story than what it was. We talked more about the optometrist than we did Bess intimidating someone.
When Cameron was little, and Cameron, if you're listening to this, buddy, I'm sorry, but he went through a phase where he was afraid of almost everything. Okay, and it started with the monkey in Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
That monkey scared the living out of him. And it's like, Mom lived in Tennessee at the time. She would call us up and, "Hey, how's it going, everybody?" He's like, "Hi, Nana. I don't like the monkey in Toy Story 3. Here's Jacob." And he Jacob, whatever. And so when we were watching a movie, if he thought there was something scary, he would cover his ears. I don't know why he didn't cover his eyes, but he would cover his
wrong
ears.
Sense there.
Right.
Yeah.
Wrong sense. He's the guy who went to the eye doctor because his ears hurt. Yeah. So we went to Halloween Haunt one night. Okay. And we're like, "Cameron, we are going to be on guard. Okay. We had a kill circle around Cameron. Yeah. We were on three sides of him, always watching. And we're talking and we're trying to figure out what ride we're going to ride next. And this ghoul starts sneaking up. He was like creepy crawling coming up, and I looked at him. No.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Okay." And turned around,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, that's...
But I just, no.
Yeah.
And Jacob was like, I was like Superman.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Mom, did you see that?
Yeah.
Dad just looked at him and said, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. By God, I'm protecting my kids.
Yeah, I
take care of my kids.
I don't know if many people know this, but zombies and ghouls aren't real.
No, they're not.
These zombies and ghouls that you see at the haunt, it's just a dude.
Just some guy.
Or a dudette dressed up, And they had one that was, he was awesome. He had rollerblades. And he had this like flint.
Yeah.
And he would skate really fast and skid to a stop and strike the flint across the walkway and make like sparks and fire shoot up.
Nice.
And he did that in front of a bunch of people. They all screamed, themselves, everything. And then he just started walking over towards me, at me, but like not looking at me. And I'm like, oh, here we go. No, I was like, dude, come on, man. What are you? And then he stood next to me. I got a picture. Best posted a picture.
I saw.
That's the dude.
Guy.
And I was like, just we'll get a picture with the guy.
I thought that was Andrew for a second, but then I got my new glasses.
No, yeah. I thought it was Andrew too. I thought like get a picture of me and Andrew. But yeah, you could just tell them no, and they have no boo things.
Yeah, you got to pay for those.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And
we're like, we're not going to pay for that. Because we already pay enough at Kings Island.
You've got the dad finger and no.
No.
So the ones that you can see coming up to you, they don't bother me. It's the ones that are like hiding behind trees and hiding behind.
Yeah.
We went to the Area 51 where the Orion, and there was a weed lady. She was dressed up like a...
She was selling weed?
No, I don't think she was.
Oh, okay, well...
But she had like
We're
this
in Ohio, they're all selling weed.
What's that thing in Stranger Things called? The Demogorgon?
The Demogorgon, yeah.
Looks like a weird flesh flower.
Yes.
She had that thing.
I was in a band called Flesh Flower.
I bet you were.
Yeah. It's not a bad name for a band.
Actually, it's not.
Yeah.
But she was just standing by all these containers, and then she would just go, Yeah. And it was like she kind of blended in with them. So
Years ago, I went to Halloween Haunt with my buddy Mike Soproni. You remember Mike Soproni. He works at the Cable Council in Dayton, where this podcast used to air on cable access television. So Mikey and I, we went to Halloween Haunt.
Yeah.
And he was in line to get some food or something, and I was meeting up with him, and there was a ghoul walking toward him. I ran up behind him. Scared the crap out of one of the guys that worked there. By the way, speaking of Cable Council and cable access television, I am on the newest version of Halloween Spooktacular. Okay. I've been part of this show for 16 or 17 years. Okay. Yeah. What they do on cable access television in Dayton, in the greater Dayton, Ohio area, is there's 3 horror movies that they run back to back to back. And then kind of like Mystery Science Theater 3000, except they don't talk over the movie. They shoot these scenes that start, and then in between each movie, and there's like a little story that's being told in between each movie. I am the star of it this year. And we had, I'm trying to remember how many people could not do the project that were originally able to do it. And so it's so bad that they got me and Jim Booker, who used to be a TV star in Dayton. He and I host this year's Halloween Spooktacular. And if you'd like to see it, you can go online and stream it. So you go to http://vod.mvcc.video:8080 cablecast public site /show/16640 site =4. Check it out. Halloween Spooktacular 2024. And Okay, you mentioned last week you actually bragged about me a little bit that I have won Emmy Awards.
You won many Emmy Awards.
This show has won what are called Philo Awards. Philo T. Farnsworth set up this thing where community television gets awards for excellence in community television. I've got 3 Philo Awards. There you go.
It's like a celebrity in this
I know,
house.
right?
Yeah.
Check it out, Halloween Spooktacular 2024.
This portion of our show is brought to you by the 4-Slice Toaster. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and my family loves toast. Back in the day, before all this podcast money rolled in, I had a 2-slice toaster, and me and my family were just miserable. By the time the 3rd and 4th piece of bread was toasted, the 1st and 2nd pieces were already cold. And who needs that crap? Am I right? Get a 4-slice toaster and your breakfast will be 1,000 times better. The 4-slice toaster is also perfect for bagels, English muffins, frozen waffles, Pop-Tarts. The list goes on and on. The 4-slice toaster, available wherever quality small kitchen appliances are sold.
We went to the movies.
Did you?
Yeah, I haven't been to the movie since
Oppenheimer.
No, since Wolverine and Wolverine and Deadpool.
That's the last movie I saw. Yeah.
We went to see The Wild Robot.
I don't even know what that is.
The Wild Robot. It's the latest motion picture from DreamWorks. It's about the robot that
goes wild.
In
Robot's
the woods.
Gone Wild.
Yeah. It's too hot for TV.
Does it show his lug nuts? Check out this carburetor.
So it's a robot that is supposed to be delivered to a place, and then shipping goes crazy, and it ends up on this island with all these wild animals. Okay. It's a pretty good movie. Okay.
It's like Tarzan, but with robots.
It's like
kinda.
Tarzan with, exactly. Yeah. And I'm digging this movie. I'm enjoying it. It's a good movie. Still, what did I do? I fell asleep. Okay. And Libby elbowed me, and I woke back up and I watched it. I dozed off again. And this time my mom elbows me.
Yeah.
Okay. I fell asleep a third time.
Sounds like a great movie.
I'm telling you, it's really good.
Okay.
There's no reason at all. There's nothing about the movie that would warrant me falling asleep. And I'm getting pissed because I keep falling asleep in the movie. The chair was really comfortable and the lights were nice and dark. And
was it one of those red reclining?
No. Okay. It was a different theater.
Okay.
Anyway, Mom shakes me a little bit and she says, "Darren, you're missing the ending." And I'm like, "The ending?" I've been asleep the whole damn movie. And then I started getting pissed thinking, granted, they've tried, but I was so pissed because I'm like, we're really at the ending. We weren't at the ending. The movie had like 45 more minutes. But I'm like, I've never slept through the whole movie. Not at a theater. I had it at home. Okay. Oh my God, I woke up when the credits are rolling. Like, was it good?
Yeah.
No? Oh, good. I missed it. Yeah. It's time for Top Golf.
So this past weekend, we celebrated Charlie's birthday.
Happy birthday, Charlie.
At a party at Top Golf. So what's that called? Rented 2 bays? Is that what that's called?
Yeah. You reserved.
We reserved.
You rented a room at Top Golf. Yeah.
We reserved. And we were on the second level, the Honda level.
Oh.
You're a Top golfer.
Oh, yeah. You know? That's a 5-speed level.
Yeah. And so we got there, have his friends come, and it started out relatively safe and sane. The kids were hitting the balls. Andrew hit a couple of balls. I gave him 1 or 2 tips on how to hit the ball, and then felt immediately like an idiot because I can't hit a golf ball to save my life.
Like, what do you know?
It's one of those things, like, I know how it should be done, but I can't do it. You know what I mean?
All I know is you follow through. You gotta follow through.
I was on a golf team when I was in high school. And I took golf lessons. I
took a golf class in college.
I know golf theory. I just can't do it.
Right. I couldn't hit the ball. Honest to God, I took a golf class in college. I thought, this will be cool. I'll learn how to play golf. You put the ball on the tee. They taught you how to hold the one hand here, and the pinky overlaps the index finger there.
Right.
And then you elbow straight, and this goes one out.
And then you miss it.
And I swung. I couldn't hit the ball.
Or you hit it and you knock a beaver out 3 feet to the left.
I hate when my beaver gets knocked out.
Yes, exactly. Like I said, I know the theory of how to do it. I can't do it. So I gave him a couple of pointers with a disclaimer. Look, I can't do this, but I know this is how. Here's the thing.
I have the concept.
Every time,
how to do it.
Whenever we've gone to Top Golf and I've been allowed to play, every time I've hit one of the shots that goes straight and way out there, I've thought, wow, that's all there was to it. I'm going to knock the piss out of this next ball.
Right.
And the next ball is the one that either goes backwards, goes into somebody's drink, just dribbles off the edge, takes my confidence all the way back down to the crapper until the next time I wallop it out of the park.
Right.
And then it starts the whole thing over. Anyway, the games are going well. You get 2 hours when you rent a bay at Top Golf.
Reserve.
You get 2 hours.
Okay.
And the kids had varying levels of success at hitting the ball. They all had different strategies. There was one kid that actually played golf in the group, and he was actually lining up and hitting the ball reasonably well. The interesting thing is some of the other kids that had amazing theories about how to hit a golf ball involving running up to it and hitting it.
Get a good run and go.
Following through completely, and then on the second follow through actually hitting it. Mm-hmm. They varied between knocking it really straight and really far to, like me, knocking it off to the left a few feet.
Yeah.
They really got excited when the ball guy came out. You know, the little motorized guy that gets the balls.
Thing. Yeah, the ball getter.
The ball getter.
Hello.
And they really wanted to hit him.
You can't, no.
Which is what I try to do.
You can't do that.
That's what I try to do. When I see hit him. And then they realized they couldn't, so they just start waving their hands in front, get the ball, and then they throw it.
You can't do that either.
So one of them actually had the ball bounce up into the cart. Like he has little flaps in the back that are open, and one of the balls bounced in and came back out. And I was excited. I was like, Bessie got one. Then this continued. The ball getter goes away. Things go back to normal. We've got maybe 15 or 20 minutes left. The ball getter comes back. Mm-hmm. Now they start getting tons of balls, like 15 balls at a time, and flinging them. And then I hear, hey, stop throwing the balls. So as the dad, I turn around. Who do I have to confront? Dude's huge.
Right.
Yeah. But he also works there. So I'm like, oh, I can't say anything.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, but yeah, okay.
And so I'm standing next to Andrew watching this, and then Bess comes over, and then Andrew goes over, and she's like, he's really staring down Andrew. Or I think Andrew told me that guy's really staring me down. So then I turn around, now he's staring down my kid. So I go over, I look at him, and he's not looking at anybody. He's just kind of observing whatever.
Right.
The kids start throwing the balls again. He gets upset. One of the server ladies comes over. You guys need to quit throwing the balls with your hands. And it's at this point, they have a little timer there that tells you how much time you have left, and it goes red. I'm like, okay, party's over. We gotta roll. Let's get out of it. We got out of there as fast as we could. I left half my stuff there. I had to go back.
What did you leave?
I had a power brick that I was using to charge phones.
Oh, okay.
And then someone left.
I was in a band called Power Brick.
Were you? Yeah.
Sorry.
I go back and I get my brick, and the dude is there that yelled, "Hey, quit throwing those balls!"
Yeah.
I start leaving. I said, "Hey, sorry, my kids got a little out of control." He's like, "Hey, I have kids myself. I just they never acted like that." And I was like,
okay.
But the cars started, and Bess and the kids are out there. So I'm going, and then I hear, "Hey!" And then I was like, I'm going to get into a fight in Top Golf. It's what it felt like. I was going to get into a fight in Top Golf on the second level, on the Honda level.
On the Honda, yeah. You and your power
And he's
brick.
holding a hoodie, and he says, I think someone left their hoodie in this bay. I was like, okay. I go back over and get the hoodie from him, and he gives me a respectful nod. And I give him a respectful nod back.
Like we square?
Yeah. Like we good?
Yeah.
We good, Holmes? You're not gonna come at me?
No.
I'm not gonna
stay off your property, you stay off mine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna walk away, turn my back, and then all of a sudden I'm in a sleeper hold waking up in the hospital 3 years later.
Right.
But no, I've walked away without incident. But I have a strong feeling that our pictures are hanging somewhere in Topgolf. I feel like our time ended right before we got kicked out. Yeah. And I don't think Charlie had any idea that we were about to get kicked out. None of his friends. I don't think they understood that they were about to get
ejected
from Topgolf.
Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. This portion of our show is brought to you by the Bic 4-Color Retractable Pen. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I love to sign autographs. Whenever I greet my adoring fans, I'm never without my Bic 4-Color Retractable Pen. I actually feel naked without it. This pen is the greatest thing since individually sliced cheese. Here's how I use it. I write in black whenever I sign my checks, blue for autographs for the guys, red whenever I sign stuff for the ladies, and green whenever all the other colors dry up. The Bic 4-Color Retractable Pen, available wherever quality office supplies are sold. Now back to the show.
Last week, we talked about Pete Rose, legendary Cincinnati Reds baseball player. He passed away, and I mentioned that a long time ago, he was in a commercial that I directed. I worked with him, and we played some bloopers from Pete in that commercial. It reminded me of this thing that I did when Letterman was on CBS, and he had the Late Show with David Letterman. On CBS's website, you could go to lateshow.com, okay? And that's where you saw a wrap-up of the previous night show, and then you see who's going to be upcoming guests or whatever. They had a section on their website, the Top 10 Contest, and every week they would put a category, right? And then people would submit entries, and if one of your entry made it onto their top 10 list, I won one t-shirt, 2 mouse pads, and then like the fourth time I won, they were out of prizes.
Scratch and sniff sticker.
Exactly.
Remember those?
I do remember those, yeah. They had a category one time, and this was the first time that I won this thing, okay? And it was the top 10 least popular Major League Baseball mascots. Okay. I'm going to run down all 10 of them, and Mike, I want you to guess which one was my entry, okay? Okay, top 10 least popular Major League Baseball mascots.
Number 10.
The Florida Marlin Brando.
I'm not going to go with the first one, but that sounds like some stupid that you would say.
Number 9.
Walker, Texas Rangers Ranger.
Okay.
Number 8.
The Pittsburgh Pirates Scurvy Suffering Sailor.
Number 7.
The Tampa Bay Mumbling Octogenarian.
All right.
Number 6.
The Arizona Dustin Diamondback.
Number 5.
Drunken, shirtless, belligerent fan.
Number 4.
The New York Yanker.
I remember the New York Yanker.
Yeah.
Number 3.
The Minnesota Conjoined Twins.
Okay.
Number 2.
The Washington Intern.
Number 1.
Gamblin' Pete. So which one was my entry?
Yours was either the Marlon Brandos or the Pittsburgh Scurvy Pirate guy.
Nope. I was number 4, the New York Yanker.
You were the New York Yanker?
New York Yanker.
Holy crap.
And here's the thing.
I remember that.
Yeah, this contest, they mentioned the category on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the winner is like the following Monday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was Sunday, right? When I looked at this, I'm like, oh crap. And I was, this is the first time I saw it, and I sent in New York Yanker, and I got it. Last minute, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go. That's solid entertainment.
How come you haven't watched Rings of Power?
I don't know. I haven't really. We're watching the X-Files.
Okay. You can watch, if you can read more than one book at a time, you can watch more than one series at a time.
Yeah.
I'm 2 words for second season of Rings of Power. Holy crap.
I've seen a spoiler. I've seen a picture of a dude jumping at a giant at the Balrog. I've seen.
Oh, well, then they spoiled it. Well,
they spoiled it.
They've already released every episode.
The meme that's been cracking me up is they're showing the Balrog and they say, we love that they got the same actor to portray the Balrog.
It is the same Balrog.
It's the same guy.
It's the same Balrog.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Durin.
I knew that was going to happen.
Holy crap.
It's not that big of a spoiler.
He is my favorite character on the show. The dwarf. Oh my God, he is amazing. I like Elrond, the elf. I like the chick who plays young Galadriel. She's amazing.
She's really good.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that did not like her.
They're out of their mind.
They're out of their mind. I love the Rings of Power. I think it's great.
So every year we have this tradition, usually in the winter, where we have the extended versions of the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and the Hey, we're burning the ring.
The king.
The Return of the King, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're...
We're the king. It's my favorite one.
Yeah, every year in the wintertime, we will watch one weekend, another weekend, and then usually sometime in January.
Yeah.
And, Jacob and Cameron haven't watched The Rings of Power with us, so Libby and I were like, you guys are out of your mind. Yeah. And we're going to go back and watch it again with them.
I've watched almost the entire first season by myself. Bess watched the first couple of episodes. I think I told you that.
Yeah.
The big spoiler at the end of season 1. She knew. I was like, you guys are never going to guess who such and such was. Yeah. She's like, oh, it's this guy with a thing. I was like, yeah, okay.
Were there complaints about season 1 or something? Because
online?
or anywhere.
People hated it.
I don't know why, because season
People
2...
People love to hate stuff.
They
especially
do.
in the Lord of the Rings and Marvel and DC and all this.
Well, I understand why people hate DC.
I saw an amazing video by this guy that I follow. I think his name is Steven Shrives. And he's a big Trekkie. And he has, I love the video of him. He's talking about how people who get upset with the writers, right? And they, well, why didn't they do this and why didn't they do that? And his retort is, well, because they're professional writers and your idea is stupid. So basically, you're a fan. All you're doing is regurgitating. It's like all your ideas are. Why doesn't this person find out, like in Star Wars, why don't they find out that that's their dad? Oh, like they haven't done that before. Right. Or Lord of the Rings, why don't they have another, Gollum jump in the fire again? Really? So there's like, pick your franchise. People just want to keep seeing the same thing over and over. And he said a quote by a director or an author. I cannot remember who it was, but the quote was essentially, people don't know what they want to see until you show it to them. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like, you think about all the cool stuff you've seen. Somebody came up with that, so maybe trust them to come up with.
Now, I don't know how much of this, the Rings of Power, was from one of the J.R.R. Tolkien books.
A lot of it's from the Silmarillion.
The Silmarillion,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
It is something else.
Yeah.
It's really, really
I mean, they
cool.
take, from what I understand, I've never read the Silmarillion, but from what I understand for people who have.
Yeah, the book was way less.
Well, they go take a lot of artistic license. Like it'll have a paragraph that says, and so went to this land and hit somebody with a stick. Right. But then, and that's like 5 episodes of the Jedi elves, swinging and doing their horse
I knew
shit.
They had the Force.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I don't mind creative license like that. The, what the hell's his name? The Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
And Fran Walsh. They took a lot of heat right when the first Lord of the Rings, right when Fellowship of the Ring, because they didn't put Tom Bombadil in it. Right. He sucks. He just does. He sucks. And if J.R.R. Tolkien were here, I would say, dude, Tom Bombadil sucks. And before you guys write your stupid letters and your stupid comments and your little TikTok duets where you say, this guy doesn't know anything. I know that Tom Bombadil is like the creator of the universe and he's just happy-go-lucky and he sings through the forest, but he's really the most powerful being ever imagined. I know all that. He's a fat dude in a blue suit that jumps around in the forest singing songs. That's how he appears in the book.
Okay, why would you want to see that in the movie? You wouldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm an
and
idiot,
in the text, it tells you, and the Silmarillion, I think it points out that he's like something. Right. But you can't put that in the movie.
In the Rings of Power, a couple people are singing a song, and they mention Tom Bombadil in the song.
Yeah.
So maybe if there's a season 3, which I think there's going to be a season 3. Maybe we'll see Tom Bombadil.
I'll tell you what.
And all you nerds out there will get your Tom Bombadil fix.
All you jackwads that got upset about Tom Bombadil not being in there also got upset with how Radagast was portrayed in The Hobbit. Yeah. Radagast is that scraggly old brown wizard. Like the wizard, the brown. Radagast the brown.
Yeah.
And he
had
like,
all the bunny rabbits that pulled
pulled in. Like, so you had Gandalf the Gray, Radagast the Brown, and Saruman the White.
I think he's a very fine wizard.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's portrayed in the movie just like he is. He's got his hair just like he is in the book. And then all these hardcore Tolkien people are like, what the hell's Hobbit's a bunch of bullcrap. No. That's how you guys would have been if Tom Bombadil would have been in the thing. Or you know what would have happened?
What's that, Mike?
Here's what would have happened.
I think I struck a nerve with you.
When I took Bess to go see, this is before we had kids or anything. We just had a dog. When I took her to go see Fellowship of the Ring, I was excited. It was awesome from beginning to end. All right? Probably about 150 of us in the theater. One super Tolkien fan was like, nah, no Tom Bombadil. All the rest of us were losing our minds. at Boromir's death, at the
Wait,
Balrog,
spoiler, what?
all that stuff.
Yeah.
We were losing our minds. We're going out into the parking lot. You shall not pass. And then that dude's going home to get on the keyboard to talk about Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
Now,
you lost me when you didn't include Tom Bombadil.
Now, let's say they did put it in. How would that scene have changed?
Right.
All of us would have been in the theater. He would have bound through the forest.
Oh, I'm Tom Bombadil.
The 149 of us that have a normal life would have been like, oh, what the hell? What the hell? I mean, yeah, Jesus. And then he would have been like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So, I mentioned earlier falling asleep in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we went to see The Fellowship of the Ring, we had an apartment in Kentucky.
Okay.
My mom lived in Tennessee, but she came up and she was visiting us for the weekend. Libby, who had read all the books, was out of her mind excited about this.
Now, when you say all the books, also the Silmarillion?
No,
like
she'd read The Hobbit, the
Lord of the Rings
trilogy, and The Hobbit.
The Lord of the Rings proper, as it's known.
C. So Libby was just, oh my God, she was out of her mind excited, couldn't stand it. And I was very, very apprehensive, very nervous, because I had seen the cartoon, The Hobbit.
Which sucks.
And we went to the theater, and we watched The Fellowship of the Ring, the play, and I've told you that story. And I was like, okay, I love this woman. She appears to still love me. I still find her very attractive, and I enjoy spending time with her, and I want to continue this relationship I have with her.
Yes.
So I'm going to pretend to be interested in this movie. Okay. So we go to the evening show, the 8:00 show. Okay. I worked the morning show at Channel 9. So I was up at 4 a.m. Okay. And I had been up all day long.
Yeah.
I was sound asleep during the Fellowship of the Ring. And I tried as hard as I could possibly try, but who is this guy? Who is this guy? What is who these? What is he? Is he Aragorn or is he Strider? Is he what? Who is that? I had no idea.
Yeah, so you're probably the most annoying person to see this movie.
I would fall asleep, and every time I woke up, Frodo had 4 more people walking across the mountain with him.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, now what the hell? Now what are they doing? Right?
Yeah,
I finally just gave up.
Yeah,
and Libby, who again. She just could not be more excited. She was so pissed at me because here I am just, and she's like, "How are you sleeping during this movie? That's amazing." And I could not stay awake if you paid me $1 million.
Yeah.
So 3 or 4 months after the theatrical release, we rented it. And this is where I really started to annoy her. And I've told you this before, but if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Hi, I'm Darren. I would pause it and ask her, "What's his name?" Okay, now listen to me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to be annoying, but I was annoying her. And she said, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Libby, I'm just trying to understand it." Because I don't. I'm trying as hard as I could. Why do they keep calling him Strider? And I still don't understand why Aragorn is also called Strider.
It's a nickname.
It's a nickname. Yeah, okay. Whatever.
Same way you're Darfin.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. But there's Sauron and Saruman. There's Gandalf, Gimli, and Gollum. Okay, there's Arwen and Eowyn. I still can't tell you which one's Arwen and which one's Eowyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arwen's the elf princess and Eowyn is the
which one's
horse lady.
Okay, which one's Kate Blanchett?
She is what's her face?
She's Galadriel.
Galadriel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, once I figured it out.
Is it Blanchett or Blanchet?
Blanchett. Kate Blanchett.
Okay.
Blanchet. Once I figured it out, they're my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
They really are. And we've watched them over and over and over again. I can't get enough of them. And I'm like craving watching them again now. But there's a few moments in Rings of Power where even Libby was like, "Oh, now wait, what's he doing?" And I'm like, "You're asking me? You're asking me who that is."
So I was beyond excited because they had announced the movies a year before the first one came out. And this is back in the days, kids, you won't remember this, but us old farts will. Remember back when people cared about Windows wallpapers?
Yes.
Like you'd get a wallpaper for your movie?
Yes.
So they released a bunch of the LordOfTheRings.com or .net or .org or whatever the hell it was, released a bunch of wallpapers. And it said it was inspired, the art was inspired, and the art that directed the movie was inspired by Alan Lee. And I skipped with glee, and I will show it to you after the end of this podcast. I have a version of Lord of the Rings that I bought when I was I think it was at the end of high school, it was sometime in college, illustrated by Alan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
All that, like the Moria, the halls of Moria,
the mines of
the
Moria,
way the dragons look, the way the characters look, all that stuff. Sauron is straight from Alan Lee.
Yeah,
that's and so in the ring race, and I had all the wallpapers. I downloaded them all in all the resolutions. I was so excited, and I was like, I am set for this movie. The hobbits aren't cute little roly poly dudes like they are in that 70s. You know.
And I know I've told this story, but I'm going to tell it again for people new to the podcast. Hi, I'm Darren. When we went to see The Two Towers.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, Libby was out of her mind excited with the first one. We could not wait to see. Now, I'm excited too because now I understand it.
Yeah.
Because we rented it and I watched it twice and then we bought it.
Yeah.
Okay, when you buy it,
you can watch it as many times as you want.
And we bought the extended version. So that was like it was like a movie and a half. It was like, oh my God, all the new stuff, right? And so we were just loving all the new stuff, right? Yeah. So I am now also excited out of my mind. We're watching The Two Towers, and there's a woman with 3 kids behind us, and the kids won't shut up. And so Libby turns and shoots them a look.
Oh.
Not the, hey, how you doing look, the, you go to hell and you die look.
Yeah, okay? Yeah.
The kids keep talking. She shoots them another look, and a...
Yeah.
Finally, she turned to look. She said, "You people are killing me, killing me."
Yeah.
And the mom did that thing like if you have to stop the car real quick and you put your hand over the kids so they don't fly through the windshield. The mom did that. She's like, I was like, did you think they were going to propel out of the seat because of my wife's threat? And the kids, but mommy, shh.
Yeah,
she's like, oh my! The mom looked at them like, kids, we are gonna die.
Yeah,
and Libby was serious.
Yeah,
you're killing me.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I've never loved this woman more.
You're either leaving here normally or in handcuffs. It's really up to you, which way this goes.
I was so proud of her. Like, yes, she's like, I had to wait a whole year for this.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Have you gone back and watched the theatrical versions after seeing the extended?
No,
it's weird.
Because
they'll show them, like, you can find them,
right?
And I forget, we were somewhere and they were just playing. It was like you left out half the movie.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing?
Where's the part where Sauron dies?
Yeah.
Or Saruman?
Yeah.
I can't believe they cut that out of the theatrical version.
It wasn't that long of a scene.
How could you cut that out of the theatrical version?
Because when I saw, because I didn't know the story except through the movies, so in the theatrical versions, when it got to Return of the King, I was like, I guess he just went inside the tower and he just won't come out. I kept thinking that there would be a scene where he'd be like, I'm not coming out anymore.
Guys, we're going to head out. We thank you so much for listening. We want you to go to irritabledadsyndrome.com and you can buy merchandise. You can become a patron. You can listen to every episode you want. You can do all kinds of fun things. If you like the show, we beg you to tell your friends about it, share it. Post. There's a thing on your computer. If you like the link, the website link, it's called copy, you can Command C. What you do is you take your cursor and you scroll it across, as we say in Ohio, you scroll it across the link that plays our website in the bar at the top of the thing. Copy that. Are you playing me off? You're playing me off. Copy that and then paste it to.
Thank you for listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome. We'll talk to you later.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mike Odell, Darren Cox production.
There's a moral to this story somewhere. Just don't know what it is.
That was it, wasn't it? You just did it.
I just thought it.
Doctor said push, and you pushed.
Push.
This show's 7 centimeters dilated. We're gonna get a cold open.
Like it or not, my eyes I can't focus on one object.
Yeah. Would have been a funnier story if we had gotten ejected, but
yeah. Hi, I'm Darren.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode 227
of Cincinnati's Comedy
Podcast.
Boy,
and did
that sound lame?
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. We sound like a car commercial. Come on down, Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Get huge savings.
By the way, thank you for...
when does the comedy start? I say, when does the comedy stop?
Wow.
Yeah. Hey. So I was thinking there the other day that I was going to go get my eyes checked. What was that? What was that, Darren?
Yeah.
I was going to get my eyes checked.
Yeah. You got played off your own show. That's awesome.
Just got played off.
All right.
Well, that does it for us this week. Time to hit the open road and ride off in the sunset. Adios.
Recording stopped.